From Carolla One Studios in Glendale, California, and brought to you by BetOnline, this is the Adam Carolla Show. Adam's guest today, Adam Ray. Plus, the director of The Life and Trials of Oscar Pistorius, Daniel Gordon. With Gina Grad on news, Bald Brian on sound effects, and Jeff Cesario with the sports, and now, damn his pacifism, Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. Woo! Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing the good news. Right, Gina Grad?
That's right.
Handball, Brian?
Yep, this is happening.
Oh, yeah, Adam Ray. Going to be zooming in. Always good to talk to him. Have a couple thoughts. I did a press thing today. I have hypervigilance, so I get annoyed at little things easily, probably correctable things. So I had this funny thing. There were two things that happened. My press is now divided between Skype, Zoom, and phoners.
Perfect.
Right.
For you.
What could go wrong? So it's always this list of like Skype, Zoom, phoner, Zoom, Skype, and it's like I'm always like, if it's a phoner, I can be out on the road. I can go get something done. Like anything but sit in my office for 3 hours, right? I want to go run out, do this, run back or whatever. And the phoner will let me run out because I can jump in my car. But if it's Zoomed, it's not going to work. So, and then, of course, some of them toggled back like, well, it was a Zoom. Now it's a Skype, and this thing that was a Skype is now a phoner. So, of course, it made for extra confusion. But it was this funny thing. And it's interesting if you have little ideas, like if you're tuned in a little bit, you will notice things before they happen. And then if you don't correct them, you will be punished. So if you are driving, let's just say you're driving home one day and you look up and you see the trees kind of swaying around a little bit. And you go, there's a little breeze blowing around. It looks like a little windy. It's at the stop sign, a piece of trash kind of blew across the street. So you take note, like you go, it's a little windy. And then you walk into your house and you're standing at your kitchen sink and you're looking out your back window and you see that the outdoor umbrella, the big umbrella that's over the picnic table and chairs is up, spread out, and in full effect. And you think to yourself, it's a little windy. I should put that down. If, in fact, you don't go put it down, then the next morning you'll wake up and the umbrella will be snapped in half and it'll have taken the table that it goes through with it and it'll be knocked over. And then you'll go out there and go, the umbrella's busted. And that'll be on you because you looked at it and you had a thought like, hey, I should take care of this. And so I, in the new COVID world order, told Matt to order one of those phone stands. One of those, it's got 3 legs and you put it.
Like the mounting.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's a piece of plastic. Fine, your phone snaps into it. I'd been living with it for like 3 or 4 months and I kept thinking, I want to be able to change it to landscape. But it won't provide for that, which is a bad design. It's like you drop it in, that's the way it goes. So at some point, I've just been kind of thinking about it. It's been rattling around my head, and I've been kicking this stupid idea. This isn't a life or death situation, but at some point last week, I said to Matt, Matt, I need a new phone. And I either said stand or mount or something. But I was like, I need a new phone stand, a phone mount. I probably went back and forth. Anyway, I said, but I need it to go landscape. I need one that'll go landscape. Right. And he goes, oh, okay, I'll order one. I go, all right. What happens to me all the time is I have a picture in my head of what I'm ordering. Sort of what happens when I go to Vegas and I go into the Hard Rock and I order huevos rancheros. I have a picture in my head of huevos rancheros. They have a picture in their head of a breakfast burrito. And thus, they win every time because their picture makes or orders the product. So I have this picture in my head of this like freestanding phone mount, but I can move it to landscape. Anyway, 2 days ago or yesterday, it comes in. And of course, it's the car mount phone mount that I can
Sure.
turn. What I would never turn that one to landscape, but it's okay. It's easy enough to confuse if the big suction cup. But of course, when you set it on the table and put the phone on it, it falls over because it needs to
not what
be
it's meant for.
adhered to it. And I was like, ugh, God damn it. Okay, it's not really. I should have been clear, or maybe Matt could have said, "Do you want it for the car? Do you want it for the home? Whatever. Fine." So then I went home and I'm doing this press thing, and every single time we did the Skype and I put the phone in the phone mount, the director's like, could you go ahead and turn it to landscape? And I'm like, no, I cannot. They're like,
I would like to.
it'd be better if we could turn it to landscape. And I'm like,
I
understood.
agree.
I got into this discussion. It's not going to happen. I saw the thing yesterday. Fine, I should have brought it home and stuck it to this ottoman, and then I'd hang up with the person, and then I'd get on to the next one, and the first thing out of my mouth is, go ahead, could you go ahead and turn it to landscape? I'd go, no, I cannot. No, I can't. No, I can't. Every single person I Skyped with, their producer said, could you go ahead and turn it to, and I was like, no, I can't. But I was realizing, this is what happens when you fuck up. You get punished. Of course. It wasn't every other person. It was every single producer wanted it turned to landscape, and I have no. Then I had the thing, and I had it sitting up on like a pillow while I was sitting on the sofa, and I was trying to figure out a way to lean it, and it would slide down. And
I figured you would come, you of all people would MacGyver it in some way with a book and a remote.
I was going to say, I learned something today. There exists phone stands that don't turn to landscape. Gene, have you ever heard of a phone stand that doesn't just turn?
I don't know, because frankly, he could have ordered you a $15 pop socket like this, and you could have done whatever you wanted.
I didn't know. I'm with you. When I ordered my first phone stand, young naive Adam just said, give me a phone stand for my phone, and Matt went, okay. He didn't say vertical, horizontal,
It just
or switch
turns.
or anything.
Is it like a little? Is it like on a mini tripod or something?
It's literally 3 legs and a vertical slot for your phone, and it does not turn, which is weird to me. And yes, I could have splurged and spent an extra 87 cents and avoided this and got it. Or Matt could have said, do you want the one that turns or the one that goes whatever? But I just like, go get one from Amazon, go get a phone stand, highly rated, $10, like whatever. And, so I ended up with this, and then I was punished by every producer. The other thing that I found...
What was it for?
Well, it was for no safe spaces.
Oh,
Sorry.
very good.
The other thing I found that was funny, which was like...
No horizontal spaces.
The thing that was funny, that was also debilitating but funny, is one of the last ones I did, and you guys listening will probably have answers. I shall not. So I was Skyping in... Yes, I was Skyping into one of the last news hits I was doing, and while sitting there, I get a text. And the text takes up the top bar of the phone, which is vertical, and it's taking up my head. So I can't see what I look like, my head, because that's where my place was on this phone. So it's a text. And the text is from Sean. And Sean is building something, and I said, take the studs and put them on layout. And he said, okay. Now, layout is either 16 on center or 24 on center. Either way, you people who are into math will know a 4x8 sheet of plywood or drywall or what have you has to land half on. That's why it's either 16 or 24. When you're putting up a sheet of drywall is 4 feet wide by 8 feet long. So if you lean it up against the wall, it'll land on a stud. Okay. Because then you have to get the next one on there. You can't have it floating in a bay. It'll be flapping.
Sure, the
in
math
the wind.
will work out either way.
The math will work out for 16 on center, or it'll work out for 24 on center. And I just said, put it on layout. It normally means 16 on center. That's the standard, whatever. So I'm sitting there, and I'm waiting to do this hit, and I get a text. So I'm looking at the studio, everything's hooked up, and we're waiting to go on. Like the producer's like, can you put it on horizontal? I'm like, no, I cannot. Okay, 2 minutes. 2 minutes, we'll be on. I say, fine. I'm sitting there, Sean, text. 24 on center, 16 on center, question mark. Now, I'm a maniac because I can't do a 20-minute interview picturing Sean standing around wanting to know how to do this layout. So I'm like, God damn it, I'm going to answer him. and I hit answer, and I go
Sure.
24. I just go 24. And then I hit send, and it goes send. Well, now I'm disconnected from the show. I don't know how to get back onto the show. I've lost the show. I don't know where I am, but I can't find the screen anymore. The screen is just the text screen. Now I'm on the show text screen.
They can see you, but you can't see them.
Yeah. So then
Pitching a total fit because you don't know where they went.
we disconnect, we reconnect. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. And now here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start the interview. And they start the interview, and a text comes through from Sean. Thanks. I would argue we don't need that. We don't need the thanks. It's like 16 or 24. 24. We're done. We're done with this exchange.
Wait, so he's punished for being polite?
I know. It's
Adam
like,
Carolla is a master of efficiency.
I'm like, here we go. Here we go. 20. I didn't say 24, please, or 24 on center. Or
If
I
you
didn't,
please.
I didn't do 24 inches. I just wrote back 24. Boom, gone. So then he writes back, thanks. Now the thanks is blocking my head on this 25-minute Skype call. So I'm just staring at it the whole time, and I'm going, it's going to go away, right? Does it
Yes.
go away? When does it go away? And I just keep staring. I can't see my head. I can just see my torso because it's taking, my head is somehow in
Yep.
the upper right-hand, whatever, of the phone. I'm sure if we were able to do this in landscape, this wouldn't have happened. But my head is now being blocked by Sean's fucking thanks. Just thanks, Sean. And it won't go anywhere. It won't move. Now, I'm scared to touch anything. I'm just looking at it and looking at it. I can't see my own head the whole time. And I'm just staring and staring and staring. And I get about 13 minutes into this 25-minute thing, and I go, fuck, it's not going away. Why doesn't it go away? Like, I thought it was supposed to pop up and then it's supposed to go away. It's not going.
Yeah.
It's been well over 10 minutes at this point. So I go, hold on. If I just touch it, it'll go away?
Nope.
No,
Nope.
I have no idea how to get away. I'm staring at this thing, this super unnecessary thanks from a guy who's not even polite. Sean's a metal fabricator. You understand? He fucking drives a forklift and works a heliarc. What's he saying? Thanks.
And this is the moment he picks to start trying.
Well, to be fair to him, it's an acknowledgement that he got the message,
Right.
which
Copy
is
that.
fine. And I'm just staring at it, and I'm like, go away, go away. Now, I'm doing this interview, but I'm completely obsessed with Sean's unnecessary thanks and the fact that I can't see my own head and that it won't go away. Yes, Brian.
And the whole time it's, hey, Adam Carolla, tell us about No Safe Spaces. Thanks. I
want to thank the producers. I got to thank. I want to thank
Got a lot
my
of people to
agent,
thank.
James Dixon. I want to thank I want to thank my wife, my kids.
Thank
I want
you
to
for
thank
having me
without
on.
the encouragement. I want to thank. I want to thank you, girl. I know it's a Led Zeppelin song, I think, but I can't thank you enough. I'm so happy. Back when I was 24 on center, I never thought that I would thank people these days. Of course, in high school, back at 16 on center, playing, getting my learner's permit and whatnot. I never thought I'd have this day where I'd thank you. And of course, you take 16 and 24, you combine them. At age 40, I'd had success, but I've never really thanked my fans for the thankfulness. Now, this film wasn't done on layout. We didn't go traditional layout. 24, it's 16. Yeah, it's all I was just staring, and I kept staring at this thing going, you got to go away. At some point, you go away. Don't you go away? And it's like, no, I don't go away. And so about 15 minutes into the interview, I went, fuck it, I can't stop myself anymore, and I touched it. And as soon as I touched it, the whole screen went into Sean, and it went all fucked up. And it was so funny. You guys tell me if this has happened to you. I don't know. It happens to me, I feel like, as an interviewer a lot, which is some shit happened. Like, it happened, and when it happened, it was right at the beginning of the host kind of going on a soliloquy, you know what I mean? And it happened, but it was 2 words into their, don't get me started on.
Right.
And I just went, I think we're having a technical problem. And she just barreled forward and literally did 8 minutes, just an excruciating, this long, drawn out, like whatever. And I was just not looking at her the whole time, wanting to like chime in. And then at some point, we lost the visual because I touched this thing, but the audio was still up, and we had about 3 minutes left, and I was just like, well, it's just let's just do the audio from this point on. But
how far into your F-bomb storm did you realize the audio was still on?
I could hear her the entire time uninterrupted, which was part of the torture, which is she was going and going and going, and I wanted to keep going. I can't. Was
she trying to fill time to deal with the technical issue? I don't
think she could see that behind her on the screen. I wasn't up. Who the hell knows? I was just saying.
It should have gone up on its own. If not, you should have been able to, but I'm afraid to give you this advice. You touch it and just flick it up. That's what you're supposed to do.
I should have flicked it up.
But it should have gone up on its own before that anyway.
Well, it'd been over 10, maybe it'd been about 15 minutes, and
something was wrong.
It was not going anywhere.
4 seconds.
I think it's a setting you could maybe adjust.
Maybe.
Not you, but one can adjust.
All right, well, go get my phone, Max Pat, and see if that thing's on something.
Send him a text and see how long it takes.
Yeah, send him a text. All right, Dawson, you have a similar story?
Well, I think you should really let Sean know how you feel, because I understand the anger from the thanks text. We expect everyone to know what our completely busy schedule is and what that thanks text can do. I was sitting in the studio reading an audiobook the other day, left my phone out of the studio, but still where you could hear it beep from a text. It beeps once. I'm like, okay, whatever.
You were voicing an audiobook.
I was voicing an audiobook.
Right, just want to make it
And
clear.
then 20 seconds later, it beeps again. 20 seconds later, it beeps again. And I was on a roll, and I started to get pissed. So I went out to look at it, and it was a series of texts that said, hey, man, text 1. Text 2, I know you're busy. Text 3, hit me up when you get a chance. Text 4, hope all is well. Are you fucking kidding me?
You should see Dawson's face.
So I appreciate and understand your anger, and I think you're justified.
Thank you. I did run at the shop in between, and I did say to Sean, I'm doing a radio tour. I got 2 minutes to talk about we're replacing this header block, and then I got to run out again. But he does what he does. Look, what are you going to do?
Now he knows. I have never put the volume on my phone on, not once. Between working on this show and working in a newsroom, I've never had on. Have I lost my phone several times? Yes, I have. And you can't call it because it won't ring. But I eventually find it. I've got to leave the volume off. I cannot deal with that.
We got a call here from Nevada. Wants to talk about Ellen.
Ooh.
So be it. Let's see. And Chris, you're figuring out how long my texting stays?
Yeah. I'm sending some texts right now.
Okay. Let's talk to Matt, 61 from Nevada. Matt?
Yeah. Hey, Ace, Bald, Gina, a big fan.
Hi, guy.
Yeah, I was just
Hey.
hi there. I was just thinking that Ellen hasn't changed at all. She's still the same sort of angry woman that she was when she had her sitcom back in the 90s. At first, it was a pretty funny show, and then she started making it about herself. And the rating, of course, it stopped being funny. The ratings tanked, and the show got canceled. It was way before she had her talk show, so it should be no surprise to anybody today that she's the same angry woman that she was back then, and that she still wants to make it all about herself. I thought, who is this woman when I saw her talk show? She seems all happy and stuff. I said, that's got to be an act. And as it turns out, it is.
Yeah, well, it's kind of our fault for needing to graft on so much to so many. You know what I mean? Like, she's a funny woman. She has interesting guests. She does a good interview. Why do we need to be best friends? It's kind of that. I always sort of felt that way with, like, that's the politician you'd like to have a beer with. Like, yeah, but you're never going to have a beer with them, so might as well just focus on policy. It's an interesting shift that we have made as a society toward we've gone very feelings based. To me, I don't know what kind of guy Mitch Hedberg was. He just made me laugh, and I felt that way growing up. I didn't know who this person was. I just thought they were funny or thought they weren't funny. Where obviously Madison Avenue got the message with the making everything with love and all the good vibes and everything. We really shifted so that good vibes is a real commodity now. Like it is a serious. It is a way to get rich. You know, when I was coming up, it was like, well, if you're in a band, it's how good your band is, and if you're a comedian, it's how funny you are. There was hosts and MCs, and you know, people thought Dick Clark was a nice guy. Who knows if he was or not? You know, people thought Casey Kasem was a good guy. I get the presentation part, but we're putting way too much. We're turning vibes, nice, and attitude into this commodity when it really should be. It should take a back seat to like how funny is the person,
talent and ability.
How much information do they bring up? What's the policy, you know, versus what's the attitude? Like attitude is just everything now.
Theory.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%.
Okay, here's a theory
Matt.
about how they think that, you know, because it's afternoons, it has to be fun and she has to be your best friend because it's women or housewives or, you know, middle-aged women, and they just want you to be happy and nice. Then how come so many women are obsessed with Real Housewives? It's all table flipping and drunk screaming. They love it, apparently. So I guess we don't need our best friend on TV to be nice.
We need salty and sweet. What we don't want is like milk toast, you know. We don't want cassava bread, you know. We want this sort of, we want this salty and this sweet. And once we've had enough sweet, we want to see someone turn a table over and throw a champagne flute at somebody. That's just kind of how we are, you know. We want puppies in the UFC, you know. We're sort of made for, I'm going to sit in the hot tub, and then I'm going to jump into that snowbank, and then I'm going to jump back into the hot tub. But we're not really made for, why don't we get that hot tub up to 77 degrees, and we'll just all sort of sit here. You know what I mean? I mean, you even think about things we consume. We like a cold beer, and we like a hot bowl of chili. You know what I mean? We're not that room temperature. We're not
into tepid.
Yeah, we're not really into that sort of middle whatever. When people are eulogized, they're described as, you know, either loving and caring and nurturing or tenacious, we're always ready to battle, would never give up. You know, they don't go up, yeah, sometimes they're this way. Yeah.
You catch them on the right day.
Yeah, like, right. You don't want to say that about an automobile design. You don't want to say that about a beverage. You don't want to say that about a housewife. You know, that's all we do is we go back and forth, and they're both kind of extremes, and the middle is boring. But the problem is all the business of life takes place in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, the trips to Disneyland, you can throw those out. The time you got busted for DUI and spent the night in a drunk tank, you can throw that one out. 99% of life is just sort of in the middle.
Yeah, go to work, come home, have dinner, go to sleep.
And we've decided that's not exciting.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know what's in our evolution to be attracted to the salty and the sweet and the hot and the cold and the Ellens and the Housewives, but we're definitely there, and maybe we're getting there even faster. I mean, if you think about how we have to turn this group into this and that group into that, you know, no one's ever like, you know, in between on anything. We don't like the middle.
Well, look at our two choices of president.
Right.
They're on opposite extremes. You know what I mean? For presidential candidates.
Well, you know, it's funny they are, but if you really look at their lives, they're both rich white guys who've basically had a pretty good run, who've taken care of their kids, who've
in their 70s
used some nepotism to get their kids a hand up and all that kind. They're sort of the same rich whitey who's taking care of their families and who has had access to people and things that you and I don't have access to. Now, the media has turned them into this guy and that guy, but you really just look at the stat sheet, you know, they ain't what we are. They're both going to the country club for sure.
Sure. That's why I'm glad I added the caveat for a presidential candidate, because that's a narrow swath of humanity that can become a presidential candidate. Got to be wealthy. It's very unusual for a candidate to not be wealthy. You end up with the same archetype, and then within that you get, you know, opposites or you know, to some distance in personality or something.
Did you fix my phone, Maxipana?
I did, yeah. So those little things that come down are called banners. Mm-hmm. And when you get a text, typically it should just go up in a few seconds. But for some reason, you had permanent banners, or what's called persistent
Oh my
banners.
God, I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of it either. I've never
Hold on.
seen that.
Get my ball-peen hammer ready, because Gary will go, well, you set it on permanent. I said it. I don't even know how to use it.
It's pretty deep within settings, so I don't. You have to go. You have to dive deep into settings and to change that. And I've never seen that before. But for some reason, your text messages were set to persistent banners, where you have to make an action to make it go away. And it's fixed now.
Somebody had to put effort into that.
I will use the defense that Jimmy Kimmel used 20 years ago when the X Show was accusing us. The Man Show came first with a pilot. This is how Hollywood works. The Man Show comes first with a pilot. X, I don't know, whatever, Fox X or whatever the fucking XF or whatever, XF or whatever the fucking station was.
That's a Jaguar.
Oh, okay. Whatever, FX. Yeah, sorry, FX, right?
Yep.
Yeah, XF's a Jag, right. FX wants to buy the Man Show. We say, nah, we don't want to put it on FX. We don't really like FX. We'd rather put it on Comedy Central. Fine. They then come up with a knockoff of the Man Show called the X Show. They then debut it 3 weeks before the Man Show debuts. And then it's like, well, you guys are ripping off the X Show. It's like, yeah, okay. Ugh.
Yeah, we pulled it together in 3 weeks after seeing your debut.
The pilot's a year old, and you wanted the pilot. Okay. Welcome to Hollywood, everybody. But then, here's the excuse. I'm going to use the same excuse with this phone setting as Jimmy Kimmel used when in 1999, somebody was accusing someone by the name of Adam Carolla was like online and talking shit about the X Show, like leaving online. I don't know what it was back then in 1999. Chat rooms and talking shit about the X Show. And I remember somebody questioned Jimmy about like someone from FX or some producer from the X Show where it was like, hey, we hear your boy. And he was like, Adam doesn't even know how to spell. He doesn't even know what a computer is. He has a dial-up phone. He's using a rotary phone. He doesn't know how to spell. He doesn't know how to turn on a computer. It couldn't possibly be Adam, not because his temperament isn't right for this activity. He doesn't physically know how to do what you're accusing him of doing. We should accuse Laxamana of doing too much pole vaulting in his spare time before you accuse me of this. So I could have never put that setting on because I have no idea how to use my phone. I could have never gotten it. You have $1 million to set that phone up that way. I could have done it.
I completely believe you because it's pretty deep in there, and I don't see you going past.
Why is my phone set to that then?
I have no idea. I've never seen that before on anybody's phone.
Nobody would ever. Who would want that? It doesn't help in any way.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe you don't need to talk to Sean, but still.
Right. Well, I could see, like, what if you were stepping out on your wife and you had your guma and she sent you a text late on a Saturday night and you slept in. Wouldn't you want your wife to see the text on the front of your phone the next morning?
There's no advantage to this.
Yeah, none.
Jesus Christ. You were on a pole vault team in high school, Max Zapata?
I was, Adam. I was on the pole. That's why I was very surprised you used that reference.
When you said that, the little point shitting part of my brain was like, man, you'd actually be a good pole vaulter. Small, compact, light.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no, I knew. Listen, I saw the yearbook.
Yeah, of course.
That's why I went there. What was your greatest height?
It was 9.5 feet. I wasn't amazing by any stretch, but I was able to get by.
All right. So just a little under the high jump record. I use a spring-loaded stick, but I can't get over the one the fit man of color can do.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, even though I'm small, you still need a ton of upper body strength, which I didn't have.
Some kid
that's triple your height. So
kid just set the record. I mean, some guy just went over 20 feet recently. I just saw it on SportsCenter. Some guy. You know the best part about the act of pole vaulting, and the guy set the new record. I think he cleared 20 feet. It was a new record, whatever it was. The beauty, you know the best part about pole vaulting? They celebrate on the way down.
That's right.
You get
They don't
over
wait
the
to get to the
post.
ground.
You're at 20 feet. You're still moving up as you're celebrating because you realize you cleared it, and you're fucking celebrating all the way down, which is great. Just a guy free falling from 21 feet celebrating the whole, knowing before he gets to the ground, he set the new world record. You can look it up, Max Bennett. It was just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I think I got the video here.
All right, let me hit Simply Safe. Most home security companies trap you with high prices, tricky contracts, lousy customer support. There's only one no-brainer. That is Simply Safe, people. Everything to protect your home. An arsenal of sensors and cameras for every room, window and door, tailored specifically for your home. Professional monitoring day and night, ready to send police, fire, medical professionals. Set up in under an hour, just peel and stick. No technician required, no contracts, no pushy sales guys. Hidden fees, no fine print. Starts at just $15 a month, everyone. U.S. News & World Report named it the best overall home security of 2020. It's Simply Safe, right, Dawson?
Head to simplysafe.com/Adam and get a free HD camera for our listeners. That's simplysafe.com/Adam to make sure they know our show sent you.
All right, this young kid, I don't know where he's out of, but was it 20 feet, Max Pana? There he goes. You can watch him celebrate in the air, which I love.
Yes.
It's great.
A double fist pump on the way down.
On the way
You
down.
knew it.
All right.
If they, I was gonna say my favorite part of pole vaulting, if they have a slow motion replay, every time it's in slow motion, you're like, not gonna make it, not gonna make it.
Right.
You made it.
I know, it's amazing.
Yeah. So it was a little over 20 feet, like 20.2.
20.2.
A little under 20.2, yeah.
Feet. All right, interesting. All right, Adam Ray, the always funny Adam Ray, shall join us, and we'll do that right after this.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Ace, as with most things, I wanted to check your barometer. When channel flipping, I come across Hart to Hart. Is it odd that I stop for a few minutes just to get a quick glance at Stephanie Powers in the 80s and find her strangely attractive? Let me know.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
No, you must acknowledge Stephanie Powers' beauty. At the very top, you got to find the top of Heart to Heart. That's Mr. Hart. He's a genius. That's Mrs. Hart. She's gorgeous. Like, that's the guy, that's Max the butler narrating the thing, and he basically says, Mr. Hart, that guy's super successful, and then Mrs. Hart, she's gorgeous. So
That's what she brings to the table.
It must be acknowledged. And if anybody, Adam Ray's here, if anyone wants to realize what a contrast my two parents were growing up in a fucking busted down house with no air conditioning in North Hollywood while watching this show, it actually it made my life that much more miserable, because it's one thing to be starving. It's another thing to sit in a cage and watch somebody eat surf and turf just out of arm's reach. That's what the beginning of Heart to Heart was for me.
Yeah, having surf and turf dangled in your face from anybody is a real shot to the ego, but especially from people with hair that voluptuous.
They had a lot of hair. Do you have the opening to that, Max Zapata? We'll play it in a second. It always makes me laugh.
It
Adam,
makes me calm. But what's up?
I'm doing your show, the interactive live stream, the Dr. Phil live. Dana Carvey's going to be on. I'm going to be on as you hear this tonight, 6 p.m. Pacific. And for tickets, is it for tickets?
Yeah, for tickets, you go to this website where everything's being hosted called Tixr.com, Tixr.
Oh, okay. I'm unsure if we're calling them tickets. So we have a clip of that.
Tickets.
We have a clip of the show to watch. I'm coming in to the studio and doing it, so you can watch it tonight. I can't either. Go ahead and we'll play the trailer of the Dr. Phil live show with
from the
Adam
last
Ray.
show, yeah.
Come on, make some fucking noise. Come on, get excited. Okay, some of you are unmuted. Keep that in mind, that when you just say stuff, whether it be to your cat or if you're on a separate Zoom conference call, I can fucking hear you. Raise your hand if you've got a drink with you right now. Okay, and keep that hand raised if you've been drinking since you woke up. Look, if we were on a game show called Is It Gemini or Gemini, you would lose. But we're not on that show. Okay, if you're gonna wah me, I'll fucking shut your shit down real quick. Sharon, what's going on with you? What sign are you, sweetheart?
I'm an Aries.
Great. Could you lower your voice and not scream at me? That was fucking really obnoxious. My mom used to sprinkle Vicodin into my Sunny D to make me fall asleep, and looking back, that's dangerous and fucked up. But in the moment, okay, I was dreaming about spaghetti and meatballs and Dorito bubble baths and riding dragons with David Schwimmer.
And I'll be on tonight. I can't wait. So how did this whole thing come about? I mean, I know you started doing Dr. Phil on stage, and then you started dressing as Dr. Phil on stage so much to the point.
Well, I think when I started really fucking around with it on this show, and that's when people would come up to me at stand-up shows and be like, "You didn't do any Dr. Phil."
Right.
The fuck? I kind of feel gypped off. And I was like, it was especially weird because it was Dr. Phil who was saying that just as disguised as a bro. But it was. So then it just got to become such a goofy thing. And then when I dressed up that night at the Laugh Factory and did stand up, I was like, oh, okay. I didn't, you never know certain characters or caricatures of people that are how people are going to respond to it. It's like he's clearly not not relevant, and he's just consistently stayed in the public eye. Even with that shit last week, he posted on his Instagram where he was like, "I appreciate the support. Don't call me daddy. Don't call me daddy." Like it was like, fucking all right. Like no need for that clip. But so he does a lot of things that are worthy of being poked fun at and parody, and people just responded to it with such glee that it was like, all right, I'm going to try to fuck around, do a show that this guy would do. Any daytime talk show, there's always, to me, an intrigue about like, what's that show? This is basically that. So there'll be a lot of silly games, audience interaction. There's a segment called Phil Fixes It where I just basically come on and people, hit me up with problems and concerns, and I field them as best I can. One gal last time said her kid was having trouble in school, and I was like, well, what grade's he in? And she's like, second. I was like, yeah, you can drop out. Because second grade's for pussies and wimps. Okay, fifth grade, I'm more of a fifth grade guy because fifth grade gets you ready for sixth grade. And sixth grade's all about, getting to know your body and strangers' bodies and really figuring out where, sitting on the bus, if the bus driver likes you, maybe he'll get fucked up one day and let you drive. So I could say drop out from second, go from at least pick it back up at fifth. And, and if you can't graduate middle school, then you should just move out. So that's what I would tell him on his birthday, just so that the message is clear. And so there's a lot of fun audience interaction. And you and Dana are going to be a blast because, there's two guys that you've obviously dealt with Phil, the real Phil too. And so it'll be fun to have the live audience watching you guys, fuck around.
Brian?
Speaking of which, Adam Ray, I love the bold gambits of having Dana Carvey on your show, and you're doing the impressions.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's one.
That's good.
I mean, we're going to do a fun game with Dana where it's going to be, I'm going to try to pull a few out and do a thing where it's like a famous debate where it's going to be him and I picking up. I mean, one of them was going to be like him doing George Bush Sr. and me doing Robert Downey Jr., debating whether hugs or high fives are better. One was, I think, going to be the church lady versus Tony Danza about whether or not sex with a condom is something you should still do. So
are you going to do Phil as Tony Danza? I mean, obviously you're going to be in the outfit.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna. So anything. So if I'm in full Phil, okay, which is what I like to say to my wife before we get down and dirty. I go, I'm about to go full Phil on you, and fill you. But and then if he goes into Danza, I mean, I'll just be doing all these. I'll be doing Danza and whoever as Phil. So it's insanity. I might just get real fucked up before I do it.
I think, but you tell me, Adam Ray. The first night you pulled Phil out in full Phil attire and prosthetics and everything was at the Laugh Factory, and I do believe I walked off a stage and bumped into you.
Yes, and you didn't know what the fuck was going on because I think I was like, all right, I can't just go up and say, hey, Ad, what's up, man? It's me. So I was like, great set. You got time for a quick selfie in the bathroom stall? And you were like, what?
I literally walked off of stage. And you're in a little bit, you're a little bit heightened, you know, like when you walk off of stage, everyone's cheering and laughing and whatever. And I walked off stage and just sort of turned the corner by the stairs by the bathroom where the comics hang out.
Intimate area too.
And just ran right into Adam, who was dressed fully as Phil. And he said something, and I just sort of stared at him. I had no context. I didn't know where to put it. I didn't know what was going on. I just had that moment of I have no idea what's going on here.
Yeah, it was great. It was. I mean, there's no prep for somebody being in full prosthetic right outside of a bathroom, and especially your face.
Inviting you in.
You acted just. I mean, thank God you were shell shocked and kind of you were like. I think when I said great set, you were like, thanks, man. And then I was like, hey, can we pop into the bathroom real quick? And you were like, what? So it's, good on you for also just playing the moment real and not being like, fuck yeah, dude, let's slip back to, there it is. Yeah.
Nice fupa.
It's a nice get up.
You were also, for as many times I've done it on the show, you were so like, and look, the makeup was good too. So it was really,
it was good. And
you couldn't tell it was me at first. I think I said Adam and you were like, you were growing up. You're like, Schiff, like which Adam is this? Like, I can't tell.
It was funny because it was like kind of casual Phil, which not suit and tie Phil, but weekend Phil, which by the way, as long as we're talking about 70s TV shows and Heart to Heart, I'll show you the beginning in a minute. I don't know about you, but my favorite moments of those shows, like my favorite moment of Chips, wasn't when they were in uniform chasing down perps. It was weekend Chips.
Off the clock Chips.
Like so Ponch was there and Larry Wilcox would come over to his cool bachelor pad at the marina for a beer, and how they were dressed casually, but still kind of, you could tell they were dressed. The zipper was pulled up the right amount on the windbreaker, and the collar was popped, and the ladies loved them, and they'd have a beer, this cool, like, we're getting, like seeing your school teacher at the supermarket or something, like, ooh, look, it's a real person.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I think you could tell from that picture that when Phil's wearing a denim jacket and he's really, rocking that front butt, right above, right below the belly button, right above the pubic region, you can tell I'm drinking an iced coffee at 10 p.m. You can tell that I'm on my way to a little bit of mimosa and anal just around the corner at somebody's garage. Yeah, this guy.
That outfit's more of a warning.
Yeah.
A warning outfit. Yeah, if you see a guy dressed like this anywhere other than an AMPM, I would just fucking turn around and walk the other way.
Even the AMPM.
Even it's as nice as AMPMs can get. Even this guy.
There's an extra mile across the street. Just go there.
Do you let this guy cut in front of you at the AMPM if he's like, hey, do you mind? I got the hot dogs. I just realized that I grabbed the last hot dog and it's super cold. I only got a little bit of time to get home before my microwave shuts down. Do you let that guy?
I let anybody,
absolutely,
anybody who's buying food at an AMPM can cut in front of me all they want, because that person has the power of 10. That person is criminally insane. That person, prison to them is a lateral move. They'll cut me in that AMPM as soon as they'll blink. You think about the people that are eating taquitos that are filled with American cheese and bacon, and they can get 4 for 99 cents. The fact that there's an the fact that there is an In-N-Out burger on the corner where you can go get one of the best hamburgers made for $2.99, but you need 11 taquitos filled with chemicals over here that have been on this weird rotisserie with a grow light over it for the last 3 days. The fact that that's where you choose to spend your money is insane. And, you know, I don't want to sound like I'm high on mushrooms, but it's one thing to buy a cheap vinyl baseball mitt. This is something you put into your body. You literally ingest this thing and then
How do you know it's chemicals, Adam Carolla? Okay, it tastes delicious. I don't think anything that tastes that good is going to be filled with the nasty stuff.
What is the difference between $1.99 and $2.49 when it comes to a great burger versus some weird half-burnt taquito thing?
It could literally change your DNA.
This hot dog, yes, this hot dog is filled with cheese. Like, you're going to grow a tail if you eat 3 of these things. Who are these people who like, and also, I don't go into a hardware store and go, do you guys have Danish? It's a hardware store. I will go into a bakery and get Danish. I don't need to get eye drops and fill up my tank and buy a quart of oil, and I'm hungry. Like, to go up the street and eat.
It's safe to say that the people...
What?
Who ruined this with IKEA? You get your fucking shelf and you get your Swedish meatballs at the end.
Your lingonberry jam.
But I think AMPM has been serving up the grub for 40 years. I mean, yeah, the IKEA is doing it, but it's the IKEA wasn't around when I was 20. When I was 20, I had a buddy named Chet who worked at an AMPM on God, it's probably still there. There's an AMPM Maxipata that is on Magnolia and Laurel Canyon. And by the way, that's why I threw up.
Yes, there is.
Because Chet let me take a whole bottle of white Boone's Farm wine, and I chugged the whole bottle and yacked all over John Tyler's VW Bug.
Controversial theory. Perhaps Tungus was named because that is the name of a piece of furniture at IKEA.
Is it?
I'm just wondering.
It's got to be.
Too
much good stuff.
Yeah, Tungus.
Yes. Do you think the guy? It's safe to say that the guy who's buying the turnstile meats, and I guess it's a generous statement to call them meats, but if you're buying those finger foods, it's safe to say that guy at some point in his life has said to a woman at a bar, "Hey, have you ever been in a trunk?" Right? It's probably safe to say that he's done that. It's probably safe to say he gets to a strip club.
You broke up, Adam.
And before he even asked the girls like dances, he's like, "How much for a toe suck?" And they're like, "Oh shit, we good?"
Yeah, we got it.
We came back at the perfect part.
What part did you?
How much for a toe suck?
Good, as long as that came through.
Again, the food. Well, the conceit. I mean, don't you guys feel like there is good food to be had almost everywhere now? Like you take sure. You can take a place like El Pollo Loco. All right, sure. It's not the top of the food chain, but for $7, you can get a bunch of chicken and tortillas and salsa. Like, you can do okay at an El Pollo Loco.
And it's not fried. It's not that bad for you. You know, it's like rotisserie chicken and salad.
That's one of Christy's clients. I'm going to have to refer to this segment.
I love El Pollo Loco is great when I'm like going on a run for my worker guys. Just get a bunch of chicken, a bunch of tortillas and all. And it's always good. And I like it. The point is and then up the street is an In-N-Out burger, and then across the street's like a Mon Pa Chinese place. It has like a lunch special. Why are we eating at the AMPM? I don't get that mentality.
What's the weirdest? Let's go around the horn. What's the weirdest thing you've ordered food-wise at you've purchased food-wise at a let's just say an AMPM style convenience store?
I got it.
When in Texas, they actually have good barbecue sometimes in these places, and we tried it, and it was above average. It wasn't like the Smoke Pit or whatever the fuck that place is called, or Franklin's, but it was above average.
Well, it's got to be, you got to do the traditional stop on the way back from Vegas and get elk jerky at that big giant gas station. I've gotten so many different exotic animal jerkies at that gas station.
Yeah.
Is there any animal they won't turn into jerky?
You can jerky anything.
Asking for a friend. Yeah, you can jerky anything.
Yeah.
I mean, can you jerky people? Like, did any of these serial killers ever go that route?
You just put it in the Ron Popeil food dehydrator.
Fucking, can we
Jerky
talk
your friend.
about that? By the way, where is that guy? Who's he voting for? Does he pee sitting down still? Where is the Ronco food dehydrator guy? Right. Can we do a where are they now? Food dehydrator guys?
I think Ron Popeil died. Is that true? We had him.
So.
Brian, remember he was on the morning show? We had Ron Popeil on my morning radio show.
He's 85.
Oh, he's 85. All right. We must have had
5 years young.
We had
By the way,
Billy Mays was on the show for sure.
Yeah. Bob Barker. There's got to be a group of guys. Bob Barker, Ron, what's his name?
Popeil.
Yeah. Shit. You know what I'm saying? If, maybe throw Phil Jackson in there. Guys where people haven't heard or seen him for a while, and they're like, guy's dead, right? And then they go, no, he actually was at the putt last week in Burbank. That guy, he shits at your house and leaves because he had this whole set it and forget it thing. Remember, he was just like, fucking drop it in and kick out for 15, 20 minutes.
I'm pretty sure Ron Popeil came in to the morning show. I have a recollection of that.
Wow.
And I was just doing
the product.
I was doing the math. I can't remember, but he was old at the time. So that was, it had to be 12, 13, 14 years ago is why I was thinking it wasn't with us anymore. But he was pitching something. I can't think of what it was.
Sure it wasn't Billy Mays?
Could have been Billy Mays.
Billy Mays came on the radio show, but I'm not seeing Ron.
Oh, do we have a guest list?
No, there's just articles.
Oh, maybe he called in. I do remember Billy Mays came in, but I thought Ron Popeil, because I grew up with Popeil and all the Omatics, and I think he wrote, hey, Max Bada, see if Ron Popeil in like 2007 or 8 wrote a book or something like that. I think that was why I may have talked to him. But anyway.
Was he promoting the spray on hair?
Top coverage? No.
Yep.
That was, or it was something else.
Give me the news with Grad, news with Gina Grad, breaking viral, all those crazy Trump tweets. Give me news with Gina Grad, trouble in the Middle East, celebrity drunk meltdowns. Need news with Gina Grad.
The news with Gina Grad.
Well, Adam's crystal brain strikes again because Helsinki Airport is implementing COVID sniffing dogs. And apparently it's going quite well. It's a pilot project, and there have been several studies that have found dogs are able to smell the virus with almost 100% accuracy. They can even detect the virus before any symptoms are present. The dogs being used in Helsinki's airport pilot program do not come in direct contact with anyone, so and it's voluntary. But what you do is
you said pilot program, and then you said airport.
It's good.
A little hidden Easter egg for
I
you.
got AMPM and carb load, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, he's gotten so much dumber with those taquitos. So what they do is you wipe your skin, you drop it in a cup, and then the dogs smell the cup and then detect whether or not you're sick.
It turns out fucking dogs can do anything if you just give them a treat. Like, they could fly the fucking plane if someone had enough jerky treats. Like, it turns out dogs just can do anything or won't do anything. Just, it's all incentive. They think they're looking for their fucking toy.
It's a game.
I talked to police dog guy, like Wrangler, and he said even the police dog that attacks you thinks he's playing. They all want their sock toy. They have these little, they get them with these little kind of sock toy things, and that's all they want. And once they find your, 10 kilos of heroin, they get their sock toy. That's it.
They're not even remotely interested in the heroin.
Not at all. And by the way, it could be heroin. It could be cancer. It could be venereal diseases, which I've said they should be able to sniff that shit out. Next time you throw a big party at them, put them by the door, right? Put the dog, just have them sit by the door. That's all. All the chicks walking in sundresses. If the dog starts chasing its tail, she's got to be escorted out through the side door.
See you, Cindy.
Right. See you, Cindy. They can sniff anything. They can do anything. They just want their fucking toy. That's it.
I wouldn't want to live in a world. Okay. Would you rather have no sense of smell or the sense of smell of a dog? Because I don't think I could handle being able to smell that much.
Well,
ask Dawson.
I think, Dawson doesn't have a good sense of smell. Here's my belief, Gina Grad. I've learned this from watching the movie Defending Your Life. We've talked about this Rip Torn.
Yep. The little brains.
The food tasted different to him, and it tasted horrible to the little brain people, but to him, this bitter mush was delectable. So I think once your sense of smell gets so acute, it actually, all the stuff you smell turns into something delectable because it's processed through the little brain. Or the big brain.
This is damn exciting stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
Wait a second. Does this dovetail somehow into dogs eating shit?
I don't know. I can't explain it. I think they're
that is the great thing, too, that is like, so it's a double-edged sword with dogs where it's like they'll solve some amazing case and then moments later be, going down on themselves or eating somebody's shit. And so you're like, all right, like this is probably what stopped real forward movement on trying to get them to take on bigger tasks like
eating poop, right?
Yeah, but also maybe they're just one step ahead of the game. Maybe they're just getting poo in its freshest state because we haven't really gone down that path, right? I mean, like I can speak for probably most of us here that we've never eaten somebody else's shit, and
at
maybe
least half of us.
Yeah,
Majority, yeah.
So it's like how do we? Maybe these dogs know something we don't, But I do think. Is it only dogs that they're trying to get be a part of this COVID training, or why do cats?
Well, cats, we've talked about this before, but cats aren't as trainable. They're more instinct. But we have talked before about the cat. They called it like the cat of death or the grim cat or whatever. At nursing homes, would go sleep on one of the patient's beds, and the next day that patient would die. And they needed to reconstruct it. The cat wasn't killing these people. The cat was sniffing out who was really sick and staying with them.
Also, dogs and cats.
Just dynamite.
Like if you take a dog and you go, you want a jerky treat? They go like, yeah. Like, what do you need? Like, sure, boss. And then you go to a cat, you want a treat? And they're like, I don't need your charity, bitch.
Already ate.
So they have a different attitude. You can't. They can't be bought. You know what I mean? They're like punk rockers. You can't buy them.
Like Chumbawamba.
Yeah. My rich stepdad says he'll get me a BMW if I don't drop out of college. Fuck off, dude. That's what cats do.
Cats don't even call their dads dad. They call him like, fuck you, Dustin.
That's right. They call him my first name.
Yeah.
Well, Adam, I know you both, I imagine both Adams have seen this already, but just in case you have a thought or two, our governor here, Gavin Newsom, has issued an executive order that will ban sales of gas-powered cars, new gas-powered cars, by 2035, and I think trucks by 2040. Newsom said the move is designed to improve the quality of air and cut down the greenhouse gases that are creating climate change. The signing of the order comes 2 weeks after Newsom vowed to fast-track the state's environmental plans as a result of climate dam emergency. That's when he said the hots were getting hotter and the wets were getting wetter.
Yeah. But so here's our problem, I realize. So a couple things. First off, by 2035, most people will opt for an electric car just in general. We're already about there. They're going to get cheaper. The range is going to get longer. We don't have a power grid that can support an all electric fleet. We have a fucking power grid that if too many people turn on their air conditioning in July, we get rolling blackouts. So, hey, Governor, you may want to think about how we're going to power these cars before you make the decree. Number one. Number two, nobody who can afford a new car is going to be living in California 15 years from now. Everyone's just going to move out. There'll be homeless people jousting in the streets on bicycles, but no taxpayer is going to live in this fucking dump. I mean, Newsom is going to run the fucking place into the ground, and then everyone's going to just move to Texas or Nashville or whatever. Everyone's going to move. So this is it's a moot point because no one's going to live here.
Right.
Also, the thing that drives me nuts about hearing Newsom talk, and maybe this is a problem with living in California. You guys tell me. Max Zapata, sorry, but you can find him making the announcement probably online. So here's an interesting thing. When you live in Idaho or you live in Montana, you're not out there setting trends like Beyonce. You know what I mean? You're like, we want low unemployment. We want to work on the homeless problem. We'd like to get the test scores up at the schools. I've lived in California my whole life. And the problem is the fucking politicians are like, hey, we're California. We lead the world.
Yeah,
we lead the
by
world.
example.
We set the standard for the world. We're going to outlaw this and know that, and we're going to do it because we're going to do what the rest of the world. Sweden's going to be jealous of us when they find out just how much shit, how many regulations we lay out on taxpayers and businesses and consumers. And I was like, I don't want to lead the world. Take care of the fucking homeless problem. Get the schools up and running. Clean up your fucking filthy towns and get your shit together with unemployment and traffic. And then we can look at setting an example of being a shining beacon on the hill. He's so enamored with like, we're going to lead the world with all this shit. Meanwhile, we got 65,000 homeless people strewn all over the place. How about we do some super boring pedestrian shit, like clean up the homeless problem and a little less announcing to the world how we're on the vanguard of everything. Sorry, Maxipad, do you have that?
I'm looking. I'm scrolling through.
Yeah, it's a downfall of living in California. Everyone feels like we have to one up the next guy in leading the world. Right.
Interesting thing I just looked up because it's what you said, Adam, sparked I wonder how many hybrid cars they do sell, hybrid electric, what all considered. What percent of the market share, what percentage of new cars sold do you think are electric or plug-in or hybrids?
Around the country.
California.
Oh, California. I'd say a new car sold today.
Yep, not used cars, just new car
That's either all electric or hybrid.
Yeah, a plug-in, which covers hybrids and electrics, and yeah.
Well, plug-in is plug-in, and then there's plug-in hybrid, like because you couldn't have hybrid because that has an internal combustion engine.
They're not counting. They don't count non-plug-in hybrids.
Oh, so you couldn't do a Prius?
I don't know. Do you plug in a Prius? I genuinely don't know. I have no idea.
Well, there's plug-in electric, which is purely electric, an electric car. Like they have electric cars, a Tesla. And then there's a Prius, which has an internal combustion engine in it, which wouldn't go well. But if we're including the Prius, which I don't know if we are or not. If it's pure plug-in, it's very low. If it's hybrid electric included in the Prius, then it's, 15% or 20%.
Does anyone know if you actually plug in a Prius?
There's some models you have, you can plug in Priuses, and it's called a plug-in hybrid. So it still uses gas, but most models you don't plug in the Prius.
Pure electric is low. Hybrid and electric would probably be higher.
Yeah, your first guess is very close. 13.4% as of December of last year.
For pure electric.
Covers plug-in electrics and pure electric. So the only ones it doesn't count are hybrids.
All pure electrics are plug-in.
I misspoke. Sorry, plug-in hybrids. I misspoke.
Oh, okay.
I just got a text from my brother-in-law, rapper Dirte, who's listening live, I guess, right now, and he said, do they have hybrids for plug-in sex dolls? I don't know what that means, but I don't know if that's trying to set us up.
We're right at the beginning, as I said. My kids are 14. If I bought them a car today, it'd be kind of a coin toss. But their first new car will be electric. Like it's happening. It's happening fast.
Like you said, the technology is just at warp speed right now where we are. Don't you think by the time they're or maybe I don't know, maybe by the time they're college age, the gas powered car will go the way of the stick shift.
Yeah,
like I had one of those.
Oh yeah,
I do. The question is really the grid, and then what we need to do. What I always wanted to do is everyone have all their roof shingles solar. Everyone gets solar roof shingles, so you're not putting big panels on top of your roof. Your roof is a solar collector. They have shingles.
Make those?
Yeah, they make shingles. Everything is too expensive right now, but they make solar powered. They make solar shingles All of those then feed a big wall battery, the big battery wall that you have down in your basement, and then you charge your car off the stored energy and run your house off the stored energy of the wall, the wall brick or the wall. I can't remember what they call them.
Tesla calls it the whole home battery.
Tesla makes one. I think like Mitsubishi or something makes one. A few companies make one. So you charge up your house's batteries essentially, and then you power your car.
What do people in Alaska do, or people that have an hour of daylight in the winter?
I don't know. And then we have a huge 200 million acre forest fire because we don't manage our forests. And then all the fucking air gets 10 times more polluted. But, oh, sorry, you have the clip. We're on the vanguard, or we're leading the way.
If we're going to achieve our audacious goals. And as a consequence, today, we are marking a new course. We are setting a new marker. We're advancing the cause with the support of the California Air Resources Board to once again lead not only this nation, but in many respects lead the world in terms of establishing a framework where we can accelerate innovation, we can accelerate adaptation.
All right, we're going to lead the world, but we also lead the world in fucking homelessness and taxes. So can we work a little bit on that shit too?
The street perpendicular to where I live looks like the outdoor activity department at REI, and it's a different clientele. It's like you're like, oh, cool. Did REI kind of adjust and do some outdoor business? And then you see a guy jerking off, being like, "You stole my Diet Fresca," and you're like, oh, I guess this is actually just Sunset Boulevard.
Adam, good point. Adam Carolla, rich man, poor man, has multiple tents.
Yes. And does business in a tent. You have one of those big auto auctions in Scottsdale.
Are you the guy that was feverishly jerking off when I drove by, or when I was walking into Pinkberry, and there was a guy who screamed, "I got some toppings for you," and I laughed and I bought him a Pinkberry, but I never saw his face because he just reached his hand out the tent. Was that?
Yeah, he did purple berry. My feeling is as long as there's this huge throngs of people sleeping outside and defecating on the sidewalk, we can't talk about goals for 2035. Let's just fucking patch this up, stop the bleeding, triage all the homeless and out of work and all the mess and all the filth. You know what I mean? Like you can't keep your own fucking state and city clean. Like let's take care of the filth. It's so dirty. Let's work on that, and then we'll get to the loftier goals. I was kind of I was talking to Dr. Drew about this, and I was talking to him, and I was saying it is weird because here in California, it's like we have a school system that is basically failing. But we talk about the future. You know, we're talking about like we're going to be driving around in hovercrafts, and we have this failing school system and lots of...
Not with this graduating class.
Right. All this debt for all the unions and all this, like we're broke and we have debt and we have all this homelessness. And I was like, why are we talking about these sort of lofty futuristic goals? And I realized it's a signal, it suggests you're out of problems. If you're doing this. So it's meaning like if I said to you guys, like let's just say you just met me and I said, oh, you know what I'm doing right now? I'm thinking about doing my whole garage in stainless steel cabinetry, storage, full extension Accuride slides on all the doors, Euro hinges on it. You wouldn't picture my kitchen being a rat-infested mess, would you? No, because like I'm talking about this other thing. You know, like I'm going to do my garage and do all stainless. Oh, maybe I'll do a powder-coated or anodized. And you'd be going, God, this person must have their shit together. They're talking about putting high-end equipment, high-end cabinetry in their garage, but you would never picture my bathroom was a fucking mess filled with mildew. And I wonder if we do that in California. Like we go, here's our idea, here's what we want, and then you start talking about some crazy, lofty, futuristic something. Meanwhile, there's people just strewn about all over the street, and maybe it's your psychological way of saying, don't mind them. Let's talk about our goals for 2035.
Yeah, it's a misdirect.
Feels a little more lofty, and it feels like we should be in nuts and bolts mode. Like we should be, and we got to fix the economy. We're running a deficit now. We're in debt. We got to get the school system fixed. And then when all that stuff gets fixed up, then we can talk about hitting our goals for 2035 when all of us will have been stabbed by a drifter by then. So hopefully, God willing.
Yeah, if I walk into the doctor with a mouthful of herpes and he's like, "What's going on with that tennis elbow?"
Right.
Dude, you need to focus on the big issues.
That's right.
Like all this. And you're like, we'll get to that. It's going to take care of itself. Let's get that elbow back to, you can do that chicken dance.
Maxipata. You got to write down Rich Man, Poor Man does business in a tent. Because you go to those big time car auctions and there's a guy selling a Duesenberg for $10 million in a tent, or you're just selling a little fentanyl from the side of the Pinkberry there. All right, let me hit BetOnline and then we'll carry on with the news. The wait, that's what I was going to say, is finally over. Football is back, Jack. That's the fact, Jack. We love it. Good games coming up this weekend as well. Rams at Bills, Texans at Steelers, Packers at Saints, Titans at Vikings, Buccaneers, Broncos. Well, that's going to be a good game. Raiders and Patriots. I'm very interested in the Raiders at the Patriots because the Patriots look great. Raiders 2-0. More options to wager than anywhere online, from spreads and totals to props. You can get in on season opening bonuses and wager on win, or you can look at division championship futures. Head to BetOnline today. Take advantage of all the great sign-up bonuses. Visit betonline.ag, our exclusive partner at Podcast One. Don't forget promo code Podcast One for your sign-up bonus today. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. All right, what else we got, Gina Grand?
So you know how we brought up at the beginning of Dancing with the Stars the commercial that aired right before Carole Baskin's big dance number?
Yeah.
And it was, if you know anything that happened to Don Lewis or if Carole Baskin was involved, please call the following number. Well, they are not letting up because she's being sued by the family of the missing husband now. And here's why. In court documents obtained by TMZ, Don Lewis's daughters claim Carole was complicit with jokes about Don's death on Dancing with the Stars. When judges brought up the TikTok videos that inspired her storyline in Tiger King. Chris, do we have those? It'll sound very familiar. And there's tons of these, but I just pulled one little clip of someone doing it.
Carole Baskin killed her husband, whacked him. Can't convince me that it didn't happen. Fed them to tigers, they snacking. What's happening? Carole Baskin.
So they're joking about that little parody song. It's parodying Megan Thee Stallion, Savage, and now they're suing.
I thought there was something. I watch TMZ religiously, as you know.
Oh, yeah, please fill me in on the details.
Yeah.
They went to...
What's Raven Simone drinking when she gets off the airport?
She's just like you and me. She's drinking a Yoo-hoo.
No shit?
They did a thing on this, and I was sort of half watching because I'm not that interested in her, but they went to Derek Huff, and he said, like, you killed it out there.
Yeah.
And I think that was part of their problem, although it's pretty spurious, right? I mean, he's just saying
you really killed that dance. You really just chopped it up out of nowhere and fed that dance to some tigers and buried it in a lagoon somewhere near your house.
Gina, you know what's going on with this case. I didn't watch 1 second of Tiger King.
Well,
so what is going on?
I watched it very begrudgingly. I was very vocal about the fact that I hated this docuseries. I thought it totally glorified animal abuse, and in the sense that, like, oh my God, these people are so shocking. No, watch Gummo, watch The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. There's crazy people you can watch. You can see crazy people wherever you want. And for some reason, this felt like new and shocking to people. I don't know why. So one of the storylines is that what's his name? The lead guy.
Joe Exotic.
Jesus Christ, thank you. I hated this thing. Yeah. Joe Exotic and Carole Baskin are feuding because Carole wants him to shut down his park because she says he abuses the animals. So he hates her and he's constantly threatening to kill her. Well, he ended up in actual jail for that because he did end up apparently hiring a hitman, and the hitman backed out, and somebody tugged at this thread and the whole sweater came apart, and now he's in prison.
All right, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Adam Ray?
Yeah.
You be the owner of a big cat park.
You got it.
And you tell me, I'm just a dude. I'm the meter reader. I'm there reading the meter. You know what I mean? And you tell me, I go, what's that crazy broad accusing you of? And then you go, She's accusing me of abusing the big cats. And then when I acknowledge that, you pause and go, sexually abusing the big cats. And we'll see how this works. You ready? Mm-hmm. Hey, pal, what's that crazy broad with the blonde hair over there bitching about?
Man, I'll tell you what she's doing, man. She's accusing me. First of all, she's accused me of stealing all the fucking turnstile hot dogs at the AMPM down the street, which is fucking bullshit because my dad fucking works there. I get that fucking shit for free.
Good callback.
Second of all, she's accused me of fucking abusing the animals.
You're abusing those beautiful, majestic animals? What kind of coward are you?
You know, I don't know. I'm not. I'm not. You know, I'm not a coward. I'm a fucking. I don't even pull my zipper down all the way when I take a piss. I just fucking pee inside my pants. I fucking throw them out and get a new pair because I'm a fucking gangster like that. But I'm getting accused of some fucking bullshit. They're saying I'm abusing these animals sexually.
Sexually? Holy.
Sexually.
You're abusing sexually a Bengal tiger? Holy
Apparently,
shit. Oh, fucking up top, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Thanks,
awesome.
dude.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Hey, it's pretty dope.
Your next month is free. Use as much energy. Leave the space heater on, going right into the oscillating fan.
That's what I'm talking
it's
about.
It's on me, brother.
You got some turnstile hot dogs coming your way, Cole.
Anybody who sneaks up behind a 1,300-pound Bengal tiger is fucking okay by me, dude.
I know, dude. They don't see it coming until I do.
Adam, I got bad news for you, Adam.
Yeah.
Carolla. The Dancing with the Stars odds have shifted quite a bit. The new favorite to win, Caitlin Bristow at plus 150, almost even money. I don't know. Have you been doing fantastic on the show? Johnny Weir is still 300 or 3 to 1.
Adam has money on Johnny Weir.
I got buku bucks on Johnny Weir. Johnny, are you Weir, boy? Is your love for real, boy? When the lights are low. You know that song?
Mm-mm.
You don't know Johnny, are you Weir, boy?
No.
Hey, Johnny, are you Weir, boy? Come on. Surreal day on the Adam Carolla Show. She had Johnny, are you queer? Johnny, are you bi? Johnny, are you transitioning? Johnny, are you bi-curious?
Are you questioning?
Johnny, I need a fake date to the prom. There was all Johnny. It was all Johnny.
Johnny, will you be my beard boy?
Yes. It was all sort of about sexual proclivities, and the guy's name was always Johnny.
Surgery. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, police in Vietnam have confiscated an estimated 345,000 used condoms, which had been cleaned and resold as new. Footage broadcast by state-owned Vietnam television.
It's got to be a rough gig, right? I like that. All right, this is my park bench. My park bench game I like to play. The one guy has a job. He just got off a 12-hour shift of cleaning used condoms. And the other guy works in the kitchen of an Outback steakhouse. And he starts complaining about the job. You know what I mean?
Dishes come back half-eaten. They're disgusting. Kids turn their fucking food inside out. One kid puked on the food.
So you got a plate with half a bloomin' onion on it, huh?
Yeah, it's gross. It's been out there for 45 minutes. People didn't touch it. It starts to smell, and it's gooey. It's horrible.
I bet one time you probably got a little barbecue sauce on one of your cuticles.
Oh, a little buddy. My hands come back caked in that shit.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you know what I do for a living?
Well, it can't be worse than what I do, but let's hear it.
Yeah. I clean fucking boy batter off of spent condoms. You want to smell my fucking hand? It smells
what
like...
What restaurant do you work for?
You sound like a Chili's guy.
It's not everyone works at a restaurant just because you work at a restaurant.
So I bet you're wondering how they did it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the police said the bags weighed more than 794 pounds, equal to about 345,000 condoms. A woman detained during the bust told police that the used condoms were first boiled in water, then dried and reshaped on a wooden phallus before being repackaged and sold. Not clear how many of the recycled condoms actually were purchased by others, but right now at least they saved almost 350,000 of them from being on the street.
Well, this sounds gross, but it could be grosser. Like, well, what's the process? Well, we go ahead and dip them in hot water. We clean them. We put them on a wood phallus buck. Then we dry them. Then we go ahead and color them multicolors, and then we hand them to the clowns that work at the kids' parties.
Yeah,
I've actually hired several of these clowns. And here's my
You got condom clowns? Yeah.
Condom clowns. They're actually way cheaper than birthday clowns because if for a normal birthday clown, you have to pay for the extra balloons. And also there's a lot more cleanup with the condom clown. Okay. They're only making one animal. Okay. It's just a big old snake. Okay. You don't have to worry about your kids guessing, is that a parakeet or a land moose? Okay. And also there's certain jobs that you don't want that I don't want. And we're recycling. And every year, people don't know this, I go down to New Orleans and I just dig up condoms from the beach and clean them out and give them out to trick-or-treaters, and unfortunately we're going to miss out on that opportunity this year. But I still would like to make people aware that if they go to phil.com, you can get your own new condom from Dr. Phil, and it's been tested. I've used it myself, and you'll get to, feel what I get to feel, which is,
I'm sorry, is that Phil with an F.com when we're talking about condoms?
Or that's it, with an F. Yeah, you can just imagine what the inside of Stephanie Powers feels like. That's what my condoms feel like.
A lot of good callbacks. All right, let me hit a spot here, and then we'll keep going with the news. NetSuite, if you got a business and you're a business owner and you want to run your business right, it can be tough out there. You want to make things easy, not tough. So that's where NetSuite comes in. Don't let QuickBooks or spreadsheets slow you down. Stop paying for multiple systems that don't give you the info you need when you need it. Upgrade to NetSuite by Oracle, the world's #1 cloud-based business system. Get visibility and control over financials, HR, inventory, e-commerce, and more, all in one place instantaneously. Whether you're doing $1 million in business or hundreds of millions in business and revenue, save time, save money. Go with NetSuite.
I read this next story, and I immediately thought of Adam Carolla's show, What Went Wrong, where you take Sonny around to Home Depots and places where the elderly are working, and we're just trying to figure out how they're still working and what happened.
Well, not how they're still working. I mean, at the Home Depot, but why the old people behind. Just to be clear for Adam Ray, I want to take him to McDonald's and have the 74-year-old behind the counter and just go, what went wrong? What happened? Tell him what happened. What didn't you do? What did you do? Listen up, son. We'll go to the Home Depot and find the 81-year-old guys making $9 an hour working in the plumbing department. I go, what went wrong? Tell him what went wrong. By the way, I'm wildly distracted because Ozzy is just standing in the booth with his arms folded and he hasn't moved.
What?
But I don't know what he's doing. But I feel like he's on the clock, so I don't know what's going on. Is he going to record some stuff?
We ask him, Ozzy, what went wrong?
Go ahead, Ozzy.
Yep. Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today?
We're good.
Hi,
good.
Hi. What you working on, Ozzy?
Cleaning the floor.
Cleaning the floor. All right, but what are you doing now?
I'm waiting for you the introduction for tomorrow.
What?
Say it again.
¿Cuál es más millonario, man?
You're waiting.
I'm waiting for you give me instruction for tomorrow.
Instruction for tomorrow. All right. Here's instruction for today. Get the fuck back to work, and then when I'm done, I'll tell you what I want for tomorrow.
I done for today. I get out 3 o'clock. I come in 8 o'clock.
Oh, then I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
I apologize.
I know.
It's knockoff time. All right. We'll go somewhere where you're not making me nervous. Because you're just staring at me through the glass. I don't know what the purpose is. And then I'll come up something good for you to do tomorrow.
Take him to Panera.
I'm taking you to Panera tomorrow. I now have a context. Ozzy was just standing, looking at me the whole time. I didn't know what he wanted. I was going to record something. Now, it's the greatest accent in the world, is it not?
Yeah. Really,
yeah.
it's
it's glorious. All right. Sorry, go
complex. An 89-year-old pizza delivery man in Utah has become famous on social media that he didn't know existed and ultimately earned a $12,000 tip. And I'm going to show you the video in a second. When ordering from the Papa John's in Roy, Utah, the members of the Valdez family always request that their pizza be delivered by Derlin Newey, the 89-year-old. And the Valdezes have frequently shared videos of Newey's deliveries to their TikTok page, where the pizza man has won kind of a fan base.
Yeah, make sure you send the old white guy. We're not paying unless the old white guy.
After several fans asked why he's still working at this age, which I don't believe he answered, Carlos Valdez reportedly decided to raise money for him. They gathered over $12,000 on TikTok, and here's a clip, and you can call it out.
She got a nose earring. Ugh.
I went back and went to sleep. I thought maybe you'd give me a t-shirt.
T-shirt?
La, 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 la. Okay, is that a Spanish thing?
Together as a community, we all were donating 50 cents to $1 for you. And collectively, because there was thousands of people that loved you and love you, we collected over $12,000 for you.
That's all yours.
All yours.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
How come? Why would you do such a thing?
They love you, so they wanted to give you a present.
My gosh, I don't believe this.
Yes, that's all yours.
And we did nothing. We were just the vessel.
Yeah.
It's everybody here on TikTok. They're the ones that made this possible, and they did this for you.
Yep.
I don't believe this.
All right, so we got it. It's wonderful. We go out
Guy's dead wife out a $2 million insurance policy.
We're going out
now,
headstone shopping after this. Yes.
I mean,
sorry for being a
Did
dude.
he just go to Vegas and put it all on the Steelers? Like, what? Do we have confirmation that he put it towards something good, or
when you're
No
89
confirmation.
When you're
you buy a share of
89,
Jamba Juice? What's
yeah,
that?
when you're 89 and someone passes the hat and gets you 12 large, you got to go down to Vegas. Like at that point,
It's found money.
what are you doing? I'm going to lease a car that's 3 years old. Like that's no.
Put it on black.
Put on black.
Let it ride.
Let it ride.
Maybe jump into the fountain. Just fucking do it. At 89, I feel like you got carte blanche to do just about anything. You know, hop on, drop a couple, some acid, some Molly. Maybe hop on stage during a Cirque du Soleil show, whoop it out.
Molly.
Just say,
Don't
some fun
you?
catchphrase.
Are you guys? I always say secretly jealous. Like I'm secretly jealous of the people who get a lot of satisfaction. Like I deliver pizzas; they're always hot. I don't bruise the crust. 6:15 means 6:15, not 6:25, and that's what I do. I love it. These people that get like a lot of. Like, the people who like see a painting of a cat and they go, I love it. Oh, I love it. Oh, this would look so good in my entry. Like, I love it. I go, how can you get so excited about a painting of a cat? Like, but I'm envious of those people.
So excited
right?
to say to people when they're like, Domino's is like pretty good pizza. And they were like, dude, nobody out pizzas the Hut. Like they get really, and they mean it when they say that. Like they work there, they buy into it.
Have you seen
brand loyalty to a mediocre brand is a weird thing.
Have you guys seen? There's a new Pizza Hut commercial, and the argument. This is a bridge too far for me, which is like Pizza Hut. We've seen the way people are delivering your tacos and your burgers, and they're showing like them like falling apart and being thrown down and busting out of the. They've been running the shit out of this commercial. Must be a football thing. I don't know, but it's easy to tune out, not know what the fuck they're talking about. But the conceit is, we understand you're having difficulty getting soft tacos delivered to your house because they're always falling apart or they're a mess. We get it. So we took the soft taco and we put it on a pizza. And it's like, that does not solve my problem.
No. What?
You're not solving my problem, Pizza Hut. They took hamburgers and they made a pizza hamburger and they made a soft taco pizza too. And it's like, we've solved the problem of sloppy delivery. It's like, nah. I think
this sounds like something the condom clown brings instead of cake.
You've created a bigger problem. It's called diabetes. It's called adult onset diabetes. And these people are on the porch pumped like, oh, I got a pizza that has a taco blew a load on.
Well, this is why fast food will never not be a thing, because the dum-dums of America are so weirdly impressed and surprised when like Taco Bell's like the new quesarito, the new bean and cheese burrito without beans, and you're like, oh, that's different. And then next week they'll be like, the beans are back, and you're like, oh man, that's a fucking whole new item. No, it actually was there 2 weeks ago. They just fucking did a little whoopsie doozle on you.
They don't.
But the tomatoes are a little spicier. Oh, see, I told you it's different food.
No, the Taco Bell's Taco Bell's whole marketing thing is like, last week we offered you beans, cheese, rice, and beef. This week we're going beef, rice, cheese, and beans. And you go, wait a minute, that's the same. It's the same
New
thing.
Tacos Locos.
No. It's got a whole new name. It's Tacos Locos. Now you're used to having the beans, rice, cheese, and beef.
Yeah.
This is cheese, beef, rice, and beans.
Holy shit! That's
It's
not
the
the
new
same thing.
Tacos Locos. Hold on. There's a new Grandos Explosios. That's going to be rice, beans, cheese, and beef.
What the fuck?
All on a flour tortilla. See, what you're used to is a flour tortilla with cheese, rice, beans, and beef on it. This is a flour tortilla with rice, beans, cheese, and beef. Okay?
When does it come out?
So for breakfast, we do beans, cheese, rice, and cheese and beans. Okay. And then lunch, what we do is we do cheese, beans, rice, and beef. And then for dinner, get ready to be blown away. You'll never guess. For dinner, we go beef, rice, beans, and cheese.
What the fuck?
So it's a totally different experience, all three meals. He just killed himself. Adam Ray just killed himself. Have we found that Pizza Hut? Oh, then maybe it's either Pizza Hut or it's Domino's. No, I think it's Pizza Hut.
Well, Domino's does this thing where they're like 2 months ago, this commercial came out where they were like, we realized that delivering pizza to your house can be kind of a tricky adventure.
That's it. Well, there was that one. Yeah, that's Domino's.
But
where
they're
the
like,
guy
we're going to fill the potholes in your cul-de-sac because the city for sure isn't doing it. So we're going to, by the way, what happened at Domino's where they're like needed to do that to compensate? Like for sure they know they were 2 weeks away from a press conference of somebody being like, hey man, I fucking nutted in all the pepperonis. What do you want from me? And they're like, hey, pepperoni fucking boy batter, or we fixed your neighborhood.
That's the one where the guy threw the pizza in the box at the window. So Max Petta, is it Pizza Hut?
I think it's Domino's. I'm loading it up.
All right, what do? You go taco pizza or you go hamburger pizza or something like that?
Yeah.
Let me tell you what's going on. Medical grade marijuana everywhere. When I was a kid, this stuff didn't exist. You wanted a taco, you got a taco. You wanted a burger, you got a burger. Nobody had the burger raider where we took the taco and then we filled everything with frosting and stuff. This is all for high people. They don't say it, but this is for people that are high as a fucking kite watching these commercials, right?
Dude, yeah, remember they put hot dogs in the crust at one point.
Right. All right, let's see if we have this commercial.
What does Domino's know about tacos and burgers? As delivery experts, we know they shouldn't be delivered like this.
Thanks for the soggy tacos spread across the bottom of my delivery bag.
The burger was wilted.
We hate to see anything delivered poorly.
We wanted to give you a burger that is designed to be
A
delivered.
taco that was made to deliver right.
Taco from Domino's?
What?
Oh my.
The new Domino's cheeseburger pizza.
This is our new chicken taco pizza.
Now the best way to get a taco or burger
All right,
delivered.
well, there you go. By the way, the adults look like special needs adults. Like, oh, by the way, your grandchildren will be here at noon for a quick visit. Like,
Domino's had the Oreo cookie pizza. That was the first thing I saw when I was in college, baked out of my fucking mind. And the commercial, you're right, they advertised it was so dramatic. It was like, pizza. And you flow in, you're like, I'm listening. And then it's like, Oreo cookies. You're like, go on. And then they just kind of fuse them together and they go, together, finally. And you're like, oh, fuck. Then you take it out, you get some Lubriderm, and they're like, call now to get the first Oreo cookie pizza. It's pizza with a cookie and cheese. And you're just like, it sounds on paper so awful, but you see the slow-mo pictures. It was shot by fucking J.J. Abrams, so it looks just unbelievable.
What is on the burger pizza? Like, did they dare put ketchup or American cheese or lettuce? I mean, other than ground beef, what? Yes, Brian.
It looked like tomato cheddar and beef.
Right.
Well, they looked that up. Do you guys remember, speaking of advertising to stoners, do you guys remember the burger commercial? Well, maybe 15 years ago, there were like these two fucking burnout stoners, like just kind of staring at a lava lamp and go like, like Beavis and Butthead style.
Right.
But they were, it was very clearly, they were baked out of their mind. And that was like, I feel like that was one of the first ads really like, hey, stoners are coming for you.
Yeah. Was that Jack in the Box?
I think it was. Either them or like Carl's Jr.
I think it was. I think it was.
Yeah,
All
between
right.
that and fourth meal, they really leaned into the stoners.
We have the ingredients. First, let me just hit 30-second Geico here. Right now, Geico's offering an extra 15% credit on your car insurance, motorcycle, RV policies as well. It's 15% on top of the money you'd already be saving if you're smart enough to go with Geico. There's never been a better time to switch to Geico. Save an extra 15% when you switch by October 7th. Visit geico.com and learn more today at geico.com. All right, we got to bring it home. Expat, what is on that pizza?
The Domino's cheeseburger pizza is made with a tasty ketchup mustard sauce.
Oh,
worse.
Oh, no.
American cheese.
American cheese on a pizza.
Getting worse.
Beef, fresh onions, diced tomatoes, shredded provolone, and cheddar cheese.
American cheese on your pizza with mustard and ketchup. All right. Let's bring it home, Gina Grad.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Gina Grad.
That was the news with Gina Grad.
Sorry, Adam Ray. I just got to get on a schedule here and bring
No,
this.
you're fine. I was just going to do a shitty Jay Leno impression.
Bad
so
boy
You're
home.
the right move to press on.
Last 15 seconds with Simply Safe. No one should feel unsafe at home. Protect your home. Do it today. Get free shipping at simplysafe.com/Adam. There's two I's in there. That is simplysafe.com/Adam.